What is up, guys? Welcome on back to the news with TK. And Letitia James is looking more and more like she's going to be criminally charged. Even the legacy media is thinking the same. Roll it.
I believe the Attorney General of New York is going to get charged by the feds here criminally. I think this is going to be a big deal. I think it is a case that is being undercovered right now, even in the right-wing media. I've been surprised that this hasn't gotten more attention.
They're claiming that I engaged in mortgage fraud, that I somehow decided that I was a resident of Virginia, which would be some commute every morning to the office at 28 Liberty. That somehow, I should be held to the same standard as Donald Trump, but somehow what I did was basically similar to what Donald Trump engaged in. And there's just no comparison. The allegations against me are totally baseless.
Flashback.
The agency also alleges that James, in numerous documents, misrepresented a building she bought in Brooklyn, saying it only had 4 units instead of 5. And they allege that James purchased another property with her father as a co-signer, but falsely listed the pair as husband and wife in 1983 and 2000.
So welcome on back to the news with TK. Letitia James is facing more and more scrutiny, not just now from the alternative media like us, but or the right side media, as people like to say, but even the legacy media now is looking at this and going, uh-oh, she definitely has a problem. And it all comes down to that criminal referral that got posted, and everybody from CBS News to you name it in the legacy media is looking at this now and going, how is she not criminally charged? Any way you slice it, when you look at these documents, it looks really bad for Letitia James. I mean, the criminal referral from the Department of Justice, putting it in here, falsifying records. I don't see how she skates free on this one at all. I mean, even the media sees it. So despite what she's saying, and as more and more of the legacy media are on the, wait a minute, how is this person not charged yet? Look, there's some facts when you sign documents with notaries and whatnot that are just irrefutable. You can't say that you didn't do it, or that you didn't know, or I didn't understand. That doesn't matter. And we're going to get into one clip here that we found over on YouTube that talks about, occupancy fraud, or actually not living in a property to get more favorable rates. I want you to hear this clip here, and then we'll come back before we close out. Roll it.
To do a video about occupancy fraud because it's the #1 fraud in the mortgage industry. This means people will say that they're going to live in a home so they can get the primary residence interest rate, which is much lower than the investment property interest rate. But really their intention is to rent it out. Also, on a primary residence, you can get that loan with a much smaller down payment, sometimes as little as 5% down, whereas on a rental property, you need 20% down or more. So people will, shocker, lie, and that's a fraud, and that's a big deal. This is what underwriting is for. Our underwriters, everybody's underwriters, are looking for any kind of fraud, and it's enough that it's the #1 fraud in the industry.
So like I said, there you have it. I mean, she can claim that she was not going to say that she was not being there or not. I clearly have emails that show, that I never intended to live at that property, but you signed. The part that matters is the notarized affidavit that clearly says you're going to make this your primary residence. It is what causes the banks to give you a more favorable term, because it's not just an investment property, it's a homestead. And to see that And now that those documents are all public, they're all out in the public sphere, I just don't see how she gets around it. Now, could she create enough doubt with the emails and other things going back and forth with the broker? Yes. But the legal document, not the emails you sent back and forth to cover your ass, the legal document that you signed clearly states that you intend to make that your primary residence. So she can claim that it's baseless all she wants. She can claim that it's not valid and that she shouldn't be charged. Maybe it ends up being a civil thing, not a criminal thing, very similar to what we saw the president had to go through. But I do feel at the end of the day, if Letitia James is not facing criminal charges, her legal license, her law license in the state of New York is going to get pulled. I don't see how she's able to continue and stay on as the attorney general, as the state's top cop, so to speak, with all of this stuff hanging over her head. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Give the video a big thumbs up if you like what we do. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And as always, stay petty, my friends.